Alright, so now that I'm done with my isometric view, I'm going to go ahead and attach my sketch into the right-hand corner of my engineering notebook. That's step 6, and then do the multi-view sketch in step 7, making sure I include the top, front, and right side views. Okay. If you are pretty good with the front, with the multi-view sketching, and you think you know how to do this, you can go ahead and just go ahead and complete it on your own, and you can check your answer at the end of the video to see if yours looks like mine. Make sure you leave space between your front view, your top view, and your right view so that you can add dimensions though. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do a walkthrough of creating the multi-view sketch. So let's start with the front view. Okay. And I will start in the bottom corner right here. I do have my physical puzzle piece so I can kind of look at it and see what the front view would look like. Okay. Which makes it pretty easy because these are actually close to a grid space too. Alright, so let's start right here. Okay, so 1 cube over, 1 cube up, 1 cube over, 1 cube down, coming around this bottom edge, 2 over, 1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over. Just going around the perimeter right now. Now, one thing I'm going to end up having a lot of is a lot of projection lines from this one because there are a lot of vertical lines or a lot of horizontal lines. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the right side view next. Okay, I'm going to use a green pen so that we can see our projection lines, and when I do my dimensions, the projection lines won't get in the way. With the pencil, you just want to do light shade as you're doing a projection line. So every single horizontal line, since I'm doing the right side view, I am going to project towards the right side view right now. So there's a line there, so I'm going to project that one over. Line here, project this one over. Line there, so I'm going to project that. Line here, project, and project the top one. So really, like, I've got projection line on every single grid line from my right side view. That means there's going to be an element that's shown in the right side view everywhere where there is a projection line. Okay, so if I flip this figure now to look at it from the right, I can see that it has just the depth of the 1 cube. So my right side view is actually only going to be 1 cube in depth. So I'm going to start at the bottom left. Alright, and over just 1 cube. Okay, and remember that's your depth measurement when you're looking at the right side view. Now, if I go from the bottom all the way up to the top, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares that are in this puzzle cube. But I could also check. I know that the height is going to go all the way up to where the height was, my projection line was for my front view, because that's the purpose of the projection lines, and my right side view needs to be lined up with my front view. Okay, so I'm just doing the perimeter of the right side view right now. Let's call this the right. Okay. Now, looking at my cube, there are some lines that I definitely can see that are going to be solid lines because we have some surfaces that are not on the same plane. Okay, so right here, this edge right here, I need to show has a different depth. Okay, so that is actually 2 cubes up is where this edge right here is. So 2 up, and I can have, you see I have a projection line there. That's where a solid line is. I also have a solid line here, which is 1 more cube up, which is on this projection line. Okay, and then lastly, I can see this edge right here, and these surfaces are at different depths. So I have a solid line right here because I can see it. Okay, I'm not done yet though, because I can tell just based on my projection lines, I've got one right here that I haven't done anything with yet, so that's kind of cueing me off that there's something else I'm missing from here. And if I rotate my figure over, you can see that there actually is a hidden line right here that I can't see that I need to show with dashed line. All right. So that is a hidden line that's shown. So you can see how useful the projection lines are when you are completing your right and top view. So now I'm going to do the top view. So once again, project all of my vertical lines up. Remember to leave enough space in between for your dimensioning that you're complete. All right, there's a vertical line projected up, vertical line, vertical line, vertical line, and a vertical line on the end. So once again, I have a projection line for every single grid line. That does not always happen. Keep that in mind. You're just projecting up any vertical lines that you see towards the top view. Okay. I'm not going to label top view here, so I have room for dimensioning. I'll put a label maybe at the top for the top view. All right. So if I rotate my figure, and I'm going to rotate it to get to the top view. Remember, it's coming in from this angle, so you rotate it to the left, and then you look at it directly on from the top. So this is what my top view is going to end up looking like. All right, so remember your depth was 1 unit. This is your right side view. The depth was 1 unit. This is 1 unit. Okay, so it's going to end up this being 1 unit in depth. Okay, that's your vertical measurement, and then it's going to go all the way across, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes is your length. Okay, and remember, it lines up with your front view, so that's what the projection lines help you with. So you should be in line with your projection lines. All right, you shouldn't go past them. You should not go to one of them. All right, otherwise you know you made a mistake somewhere. Okay, so this is the overall shape of my top view. Okay, and then now I need to figure out what's going to be solid and if I have anything that's hidden. Okay, so each of these cubes actually are at different are in different planes. Okay, so actually every single one of these projection lines, each of these edges is going to be shown as a solid line because I can see all of them. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can see each one of those, and that is my top view. All right, I will bring the label down a little bit here. Okay, so that is done with the top view. So now I can move on to my measurement and my dimensioning.